Hey, what's good, man? Merry Christmas to everybody. Well, Christmas Eve and Christmas for everybody that celebrate. If you don't celebrate, I still hope you have a good time. Hope you're off work. Hope you're kicking it, eating good. If you drink, drinking good. If you're drinking, don't drive. Be careful. Much love to everybody. You see the topic of the video is NFL versus NBA on Christmas Day. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. Mash that like button for your boy. Now, traditionally, for years, Thanksgiving has been ran by the NFL as far as sports, right? You know you're going to see the Cowboys. You know you're going to see the Detroit Lions. Then later on, they started adding more teams to play on Thanksgiving. But the NFL was the king of Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving, you eating food, you with your family, and you watching football. Some towns, I know they be having high school football games on Thursdays. Now, where I'm from, we didn't do all that, but some towns do. But yeah, football was the king of Thanksgiving, NFL football. And on the other side, traditionally, when it came to Christmas, it was all about the NBA. It was all about basketball. But see, now we in an era now, and I think it started around COVID, or maybe a little before. I can't remember what year or when it started, but I think it's around the COVID period, right? NFL started having games on Christmas. And if I'm wrong about the year it started, let me know. I really don't remember. But it was recently. So now you have the NFL having games on Christmas Day, which is normally basketball. And I don't know if they're doing it out of spite. I think they're doing it out of spite. Now, they're doing it for money now. Don't get it twisted. It's all about the bread. But I don't know. Maybe they're trying to poke at the NBA. I don't know about that, but I know it's about money. But the NFL got 3 games tomorrow on Christmas Day. And nobody's going to care about these games like that. These games don't really mean much. Outside of the Lions and Vikings game, the Broncos and Chiefs a little bit. But the Cowboys Commanders, it means absolutely nothing. You got the Dallas Cowboys, who's at 6-8-1, facing the Washington Commanders, who's 4-11. Both teams are eliminated from playoffs. They're just playing. They're just playing just to be playing, pretty much, and they're getting paid. The Detroit Lions, who's 8-7, they're fighting for a playoff spot against the Minnesota Vikings. They're 7-8. Neither one of these teams gonna really make the playoffs. I think the Lions still have a slim chance of making a wild card, but the chance is very, very slim. They need the Packers to probably lose or whatever. The Broncos and the Chiefs. Now, this was supposed to be Patrick Mahomes. You see, I got Patrick Mahomes on the thumbnail with Stephen Curry. But unfortunately, Patrick Mahomes is out for the season, torn ACL. And even before the ACL, the Chiefs was trash, and they was already eliminated from the playoffs. The Broncos 12-3. They fight for the number 1 spot for the AFC. So that's the only thing of importance is the Broncos not getting upset about the Chiefs, so they can continue fighting for the number 1 seed. The NBA, though. The NBA got some damn good games. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Knicks. You get Donovan Mitchell versus Jalen Brunson. The Cavaliers been a little bit of a disappointment so far this year. I think they're like 17-14. The season is still young, though. And you notice that the NBA season doesn't really start until Christmas Day. Maybe they'll pick it up. NFL, I'm sorry. The NBA slate of games is just better. You got the Spurs at the Thunder. SGA and the Thunder overall been running amok on the league. But guess what? They cannot beat the San Antonio Spurs. Wembanyama and the Spurs has owned the Thunder so far this year. It'd be fun, not only because this is 2 good teams going at it, but we want to see if the Thunder can get their get back on the Spurs. The Spurs beat them, I think, twice in 10 days. So people are going to want to see if SGA and the Thunder can get their get back on the Spurs. And plus, even without all the get back talk, these are 2 of the better teams in the league. You have the Mavericks and the Warriors. Cooper Flag is wilding as a rookie. The Warriors, they're at 500 right now, but Steph Curry is still Steph Curry. Probably the He's probably still the most watched player in the NBA. I don't have the numbers, but I know at least at one point he was. He still might be the most watched player in the NBA. And he's one of the most watched of all time. Him, LeBron, amongst others. So you get the Cooper Flag along with Anthony Davis, and you get Steph Curry. I'm sorry, NFL, none of your games, especially with Patrick Mahomes out, you don't have no players on the field that we want to see more than Steph Curry and a young Cooper Flag wilding, or SGA or Wemby. Jalen Brunson on the Knicks. Y'all don't have any players that's playing Christmas Day that we want to see more than them, as far as just a sports fan. As far as status in their respective leagues. You have the Houston Rockets and the Lakers. You got Kevin Durant versus LeBron, two of the all-time greats. They're rivals. Their fans don't like each other. And both of these guys are actually on good teams that can make deep runs in the playoffs. I remember we went years without seeing KD and LeBron. Hopefully nobody backs out of this game tomorrow and we get to see both of them. And then you got the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. Two teams that's going to be fighting in that position in the Western Conference, along with the Lakers and the Rockets and the Spurs and the Warriors and all those guys. You getting Anthony Edwards, you getting Nikola Jokic. Bro, the NBA slate of games is powerful for Christmas. And that's how it's supposed to be, because Christmas Day is NBA Day, bro. The NBA rules Christmas. With me saying all this, y'all, the rating, I think the NFL is still going to have higher ratings than the NBA. And that's crazy to think that, right? That's crazy. The NFL, I think, is just king in America. Even with the games not really being, as far as football compared to the NBA, there's no game that's happening in the NFL where it will get you excited as for basketball fans, the Spurs and Thunder, or the Rockets, Lakers, or the Nuggets, Timberwolves. You don't have no matchups like that going on the NFL Christmas Day. But I think the decline in NBA viewership, like the NFL is already king, but I think the NBA decline in viewership is because the fans are not happy with the product overall. I honestly believe that the NBA has gotten better the past couple years, but it's still not at peak. But I'm not one of them old dudes that's going to be complaining. I think it's gotten better. Even though there's still some stuff, they get away with a lot of traveling and carrying and stuff like that, and referees with bogus calls and stuff. That's going to happen. But the NFL, even with these games, that for an NFL fan, the matchup is not really crazy. The NFL ratings is still going to be above NBA, which is crazy. I think the NFL was planning to have big matchups. Lions, Kings division, Cowboys, Commanders division, Broncos, Chiefs division. They was expecting to put Patrick Mahomes in the main event. That's why they the last game of the night. Patrick Mahomes, one of the all-time greats already in like his 8th season. But the injuries, teams falling off, Cowboys not good, quote-unquote America's team. They're out of the playoffs already. They facing the division rival Commanders. But I believe the ratings are still going to kick the NBA's behind. I'm an NFL guy. I like both. I'm an NFL guy, but them NBA games is more appealing. The matchups is more appealing than the NFL games. Not saying I'm not going to pay attention to the NFL, but if I only could choose one at a time, I'm watching the NBA. But the NBA, this shows y'all that y'all product has to improve, because the slate of games is way better on paper than the NFL. But I think the NFL is still going to blow y'all out the dust ratings-wise. I really don't care about ratings. I just care about if I like the product or not. But I think ratings-wise, the NFL is still going to blow you guys out the water. And that's sad, because these are some good games in the NBA, but overall, the people still not happy with the product. And y'all got to turn that around. But y'all just signed, a $77 billion deal, $80 billion deal or whatever. Y'all probably cool with the product. But y'all leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'm out.